Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's class, I will be making a heart locket and chain which you can see rendered on the screen. So let's head over to today's lesson. I will start by using the default cube. I will apply a subdivision surface modifier to the default cube and set the viewport levels to 2. After that, I will delete half of the shape. I think it would be better to delete from the back side as well. Then in edit mode, I will give this object a heart shape and I will enable proportional editing for that purpose. Once I have created half of the heart shape, I will apply a mirror modifier to it. I will enable clipping and set both X and Y axis to be enabled in the mirror modifier setting. I will apply the mirror modifier and then scale the shape further along the Y axis to refine it. I will need to refine the shape a bit more. I will go into edit mode, enable proportional editing and work on improving the shape. But remember to make sure symmetry is enabled. I think the shape has improved now. I will set the subdivision level to 1 in the subdivision modifier setting and then apply the subdivision modifier. After that, I will enter edit mode, select these faces and extrude them because I want to create a design here. I will add edge loops here. Then I will press Shift plus A to add a circle from the curves menu and position it where required. I will increase the depth value in the curve properties. Then I will adjust the curves value according to the design below. For resolution, I will set it to 3 and then convert the curve into a mesh. I will select these two objects and join them using Ctrl plus J. Then to ensure that the number of faces facing each other is the same, I will add edge loops here. I will select these faces and delete them. Then I will select these loops and use the bridge edge loop command. If there is a need to refine any shapes here, I will do that as well. And now when I apply the subdivision surface command to it, you will see that we have a much better design. I will create another circle curve here because I need another shape. After adjusting the shape, I will input a value to extrusion in the curve properties and reduce the resolution value. After converting it to a mesh, I will press Shift plus A to create a lattice object and adjust its position and size according to the shape. Next, I will select the object and apply a lattice modifier to it. In the modify properties, I will select the lattice object under the object field. Now I will enter edit mode for the lattice and adjust its shape according to the required design. Then I will apply the lattice modifier, and you can indeed hide or delete the lattice object afterwards. Then I will apply a solidify modifier to this object. I will bevel these edges. We have a problem here. To solve this issue, I will merge these vertices. After that, I will apply the solidify modifier and then bevel the edges. Then I will apply a subdivision surface modifier to it. So now the locket is ready and all that's left is to design the chain. To design the chain, I will add a plane and then in edit mode I will select all vertices and merge them. After merging, we will have a single vertex remaining. I will extrude it to create a rectangle shape, then select the last and first vertices and merge them. Now that we have completed the rectangle, I will select all the vertices of the rectangle and use Ctrl+B to bevel them. Then I will press V for vertex, then I can bevel the vertices. Here I will scroll to increase the value of vertices. I will set its origin to the center and then convert it to a curve. In the curve setting, I will assign a depth to it. Then I will convert it back to mesh and we will have a piece of the chain ready. I will go into edit mode and add edge loops here. Then I will duplicate it, rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis and position it accordingly. I will join these two pieces together, center the origin and adjust the size. Then I will apply an array modifier to create multiple instances. I will apply all transformations. Then I will create another plane, merge its vertices and I will have only one vertex and I will extrude it to create a path for the chain. And convert it to a curve. Next, I will select the chain, apply a curve modifier to it and choose the curve object as the curve. I will press G to move it. Now I will move it along the x-axis to adjust the chain. You can see that the chain is now complete. Next, I will apply materials to these objects. In the material color, I will input the value for gold color and for roughness and metallic, I will set appropriate value to give the object a gold material. I will apply this material to all other objects. I will select all the objects, Then I will click on the object with the desired material and press Ctrl plus L and select link materials. This will apply the material from the last selected object to all the selected objects. I am not liking this color much, so let me change it to something of my preference. This color looks better now. If I select the camera and press Ctrl plus Alt plus 0 on numpad, you will see that the camera view will set according to the scene view. Now I will adjust the view for rendering. Now I will set up the scene lighting for rendering. Next, I will add an HDRI to the word lighting and adjust its strength. Additionally, I will add a light to the scene because I need some light on the bottom side of the object. I think the lighting is now better. I will put the value of 1024 in maximum sampling and enable denoising. Other than that, I will leave all settings as default. Then I will proceed with the rendering. This way you can create design like this. I hope you have learned something from today's class. If you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section. See you in the next class, and until then, goodbye and take care.